Okay, today we are going to learn 8.2 mechanisms of the breathing, the second subtopic in the chapter 8. Okay, let's go to the learning standard that you have to cover for today. Okay, pupils are able to compare and contrast breathing mechanisms in humans and animals. Okay, mechanisms of the breathing. Yeah. So actually, what is the meaning of the mechanisms of the breathing? So we are going to discuss how does the breathing process occur. Right? Okay, that is referred to the mechanisms of breathing. Humans and animals have different breathing mechanisms. Right? Okay, breathing refers to the repetitive inhalation and exhalation process. Okay, that is referred to the breathing. Or in other words, breathing is a process whereby the process of the breath in and breath out occur repeatedly. Right? Okay, that is referred to the breathing. If we go to the breathing mechanisms of insects. Okay, we already learned the respiratory structure of the insects. Okay, now we are going to discuss the breathing mechanism of insects. So in insects, it depends on the abdominal muscles. Yeah, abdominal muscles. That was referred to the muscle in the abdomen. Yeah, abdominal muscles that relax and contract enables air to go in and out of the trachea. Okay, so during inhalation, what happened during inhalation? So when inhaling air, the abdominal muscle will relax. Yeah, during inhaling or during inhalation, the abdominal muscle will relax. Okay, what do you mean by the relax? The muscle become longer. Yeah, longer and cause the size of the abdomen become bigger in size. So this will reduce the air pressure in the trachea and air enters into the trachea through the spiracle. Okay, so now the air is forced into the spiracle and enter into the trachea. Okay, that is referred to the inhalation. Okay, what about the exhalation? Exhalation. The abdominal muscles will contract when air is exhaled. The abdominal muscle will contract and then this will increase the air pressure in the trachea and subsequently force air out of the spiracle. Okay, that is referred to the exhalation that occur in the insects. Okay, now we go to the breathing mechanisms of the frogs. Of the frogs. Well, we already learned about the frog respiratory structure. The frog breathe through the mouth and lungs. While in an active. Okay, during inhalation. We are going to discuss what happened during inhalation. When the frog breathes through the nostril. When the frog breathes through the nostril. So nostril ini maksudnya lubang hidung. This is referred to the nostril. Nostril. So this is referred to the glottis and this is referred to the buccopharyngeal cavity. Buccopharyngeal cavity. And this one is referred to the lung. Okay. Now, when the frog breathes through the nostril, the mouth and the glottis are closed. The mouth and the glottis are closed and the floor of the buccopharyngeal cavity is lowered. I repeat, when the frog breathes through the nostril, mean the nostril open, the mouth and the glottis are closed and the buccopharyngeal are lowered. Next, the low air pressure in the mouth cavity draws air into the buccopharyngeal cavity through the nostril. Yeah, okay. So now the air enter into the through the nostril into the buccopharyngeal. Yeah, because the buccopharyngeal have a low air pressure. Next, when the glottis open. Okay, now when the glottis open, the nostril close and the floor of the buccopharyngeal cavity raise. Yeah, glottis open, the nostril close, and then what happen to the buccopharyngeal? It will go up and then it will force. Yeah, it will force the air into the lungs. Yeah, the increased air pressure pushes air into the lungs. Okay, so that is occur during inhalation. Exhalation, when the lungs contract. Yeah, contract means the size of the lung becomes smaller in size. The air is expelled from the lungs. This is helped by the abdominal pressure, and the elasticity of the lungs. And then some air is expelled through the nostril, while the rest is mixed with the air in the buccopharyngeal cavity. Okay, so that's how the exhalation process occur in the frogs. Okay, next we go to the breathing mechanism of fish. The breathing mechanism of fish is aided or is helped by the mouth movement and operculum. Yeah, mouth movement and the operculum. So what is the operculum? Operculum refers to the gill cover. Yeah, gill cover. Later I will show you the operculum. So the ventilation takes place when the fish swims by opening and closing its operculum. So ventilation refers to the breathing, right? The breathing, the movement of air or the water in and out. Okay. This pushes water into the mouth and subsequently through the gills. So the ventilation increases the flow of water in the respiratory surface. So this is referred to the fish. Okay, this one referred to the respiratory structure of the fish. What is it? It is gills. Okay, so the gill cover we call as operculum. Yeah, operculum. Okay, what we can see here, the water enter into the mouth and then it will flow out through the operculum when the operculum is open. Okay, now let's discuss how the inhalation process occurs in the fish. Okay, starting when the mouth opens. Okay, when the mouth opens, the floor of the buccal cavity is lowered. And the floor of the buccal cavity is lowered. At the same time, the opercular cavity is enlarged and the operculum opening is closed. Yeah. So buccal cavity is referred to the mouth cavity. Yeah, mouth cavity, and the opercular cavity is referred to the operculum near to the operculum opening. So this is referred to the opercular cavity. Yeah, opercular cavity is here, buccal cavity is here. Okay, so I repeat, when the mouth open, the floor of the buccal cavity is lowered. At the same time, the opercular cavity is enlarged and the operculum opening is closed. Yeah, okay, operculum opening is closed now. So this reduces the pressure in the buccal cavity. Okay, yeah, so why the pressure in the buccal cavity is reduced? Because the size of the buccal cavity now larger. So water from the outside which contain dissolved oxygen enters into the mouth. Right, so that is occur during inhalation. Okay, during exhalation, when the mouth is closed, when the mouth is closed, the floor of the buccal cavity is raised. The floor of the buccal cavity raised, and then the water enters through the gills lamella, and gases exchange between the blood and water occurs through diffusion. Okay, so I repeat, when the mouth is closed, the floor of the buccal cavity is raised and it will push the waters into the gills lamella and the gases exchange occur here. The gases exchange between the blood and the water occurs through diffusion. So now oxygen enter into the lamellae and carbon dioxide move out from the lamellae into the water. At the same time, the opercular muscle relax and the opercular cavity become smaller. Opercular muscle relax and the opercular cavity becomes smaller. So the volume of the buccal cavity is reduced and the pressure in the buccal cavity becomes higher and then become higher than the pressure outside. Then the high pressure will cause the water to flow through the operculum opening. The high pressure will push the water to flow out through the operculum opening. Okay, that was occurred during exhalation process in the fish. Okay, I hope you can repeat it until you do understand the inhalation and exhalation process in the fish. Okay, now we go to the breathing mechanisms of the human. So this mechanism you already learned in the form 3. Okay, do you still remember the process? Okay, inhalation process, okay, and also exhalation process. Okay, let's go to the inhalation process. Okay, repeat the external intercostal muscle contract while the internal intercostal muscle relax. Okay, so external intercostal muscle refer to the muscle between the rib cage that face the outwards. Okay, while the internal intercostal muscle refer to the muscle between the rib cage that face inwards. Alright, okay. So during inhalation, external will contract and internal will relax. So this causes the rib cage to move upwards and outwards. Upwards and outwards. Rib cage akan bergerak ke atas dan sedikit terkeluar. At the same time, the diaphragm muscle contract. The diaphragm muscle contract and the diaphragm move downwards to become flat and horizontal. Okay, what happened to the diaphragm? Diaphragm contract. It contract, so it will be shortened. So when it shortened, it will move to downwards and become flat. Become flat and horizontal. Okay, number 4, both mechanisms cause the volume of the thorax cavity to increase and the pressure of the thorax cavity decrease. Okay, so what happened? The volume of the thorax cavity increase and then in the opposite action, it will cause the air pressure inside the thorax cavity or the pressure inside the thorax cavity decrease. Okay, and then when the pressure inside the thorax cavity decrease, so the higher atmospheric pressure outside from outside force the air into the lungs. Yeah, force the air into the lungs. Okay, that's how the inhalation process occur in the humans. Okay, next we go to the exhalation. So exhalation also involve external intercostal muscle and internal intercostal muscle, but opposite to the inhalation process. Okay, external intercostal muscle relax, internal intercostal muscle contract. Yeah, external relax and internal contract. So this action causes the ribcage to move downwards and inwards. Okay, at the same time, the diaphragm relax. Okay, what do you mean by relax? The muscle become longer and the diaphragm curve upwards to form a dome. Yeah, okay, curve upwards and become a dome shape. Okay, both movement cause the volume of the thoracic cavity to reduce or lower and the pressure of the thoracic cavity to increase. Okay, so the pressure of the thoracic cavity now increase and air is pushed out of the lungs. Okay, so that was occur during exhalation process in the human. Alright, okay, so this is referred to the similarities and also differences. Okay, I want you to take a look on the similarities and also differences, breathing mechanisms in the human and animals. Okay, alright, okay, so we go to the similarity first. Okay, similarities, human and animals have special muscular structures to expand and contract. Alright, so they have a special muscular structures. Okay, yeah? And then the breathing mechanism involve changes in the volume and pressure in the respiratory cavity. Yes, it will involve the changes in the volume and pressure in the respiratory cavity. Okay, that is referred to the similarity. Okay, now we go to the differences. Okay, differences between the breathing mechanism of the insect, fish, and frog, and also humans. Okay, I want you to take a look all to the difference. Okay, make sure you can understand the difference between the breathing mechanism of the insect, fish, frog, and humans. And then you can summarize. Okay, what we had learned for today. So today we already learned about the breathing mechanisms of the insect, fish, frog, and the humans. Okay, that's all for now. I hope you can read more and more and try to understand the main concept and try to do your mind map. Yeah, until you do understand. Okay, that's all for now. Thank you, everyone.